Welcome back. Welcome back. Your man Dominic K in here. Dominic K in the morning on the all new radioonfire.com. Today we saw the sentencing of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, sentenced to 22 and a half years for the murder of George Floyd. Of course, Floyd's dying gasps under Chauvin's knee led to the biggest outcry against injustice, racial injustice, in generations in this country. So we have that happening. We have that. And then, you got to look at the sentence that was handed down. Was this the right number? Did he get what he deserved for the murder of George Floyd? So, as I said, 22 and a half years in prison for this murder. Punishment was handed down today. It fell short of the 30 years that the prosecutors had requested. With good behavior, Chauvin, who is 45 years old, could be paroled after serving 2/3 of the sentence, or about 15 years. So if he has good behavior and all of that, he could get out in about 15 years. So, of course, for his safety, and it's so ironic that the safety of this convicted murderer is even something that is on the minds of the powers that be. But for his safety, he is in solitary confinement, gets that 1 hour a day to exercise. But he's not in general population. It's not like he is rubbing elbows with other folks. He's in solitary confinement for his protection, for his own safety. Even though he did not care about the protection and safety of George Floyd. Anyway, Chauvin sentenced to this 22 and a half years. Of course, this case has been closely followed. So before the Minneapolis judge, Peter Cahill, gave the sentence today, there were some impact statements from the Floyd and Chauvin family. So Chauvin's mother said that her son is a good man. She supports him 100%. If you sentence my son, you will sentence me, she said. So when I watched the mother of this former cop and convicted murderer describe him as a good man, I was appalled. Now, I understand the impact statement. I understand that a mother is going to support her son regardless. But in her instance, she said she supports him 100%. I believe you are innocent, she said. You are my favorite son. She said that to him. So, Chauvin's mother, she raised this piece of crap. I thought as his mother attempted to paint Derek Chauvin as a victim during this impact statement, she didn't give condolences to the Floyd family. She did not even talk to the Floyd family. She talked to her piece of crap son, the one she raised, talking about if he goes to jail, her and her husband might not be alive when he gets out. Okay. There are a lot of folks that are in that situation, but the Floyd family He's not alive. We heard impact statements from his daughter, youngest child, from his brother, from other relatives, and to these impact statements, I don't know how much they really impact the judge's decisions. It's a moment that people get to express some things. But contrary to what sadness the Chauvin clan may feel, it was Derek Chauvin's conduct that has caused the separation that he is experiencing, is going to experience for at least 15 years from his family. The former officer's actions in concert with 3 other officers, resulted in the death of George Floyd. And it's Chauvin's fault that this happened. Chauvin's fault. We're talking about a police officer who killed a handcuffed civilian on video in the presence of children. Someone has to be held accountable. This case is at the epicenter of the divide in this country. Someone has to be held accountable. In the light of the cruelty and the abuse of power shown by Derek Chauvin, the sentence was not a surprise to legal experts. However, I was hoping for the maximum number of 30 years. Had roles been reversed and Floyd had killed Chauvin, much more time would have been handed down. Know that. Chauvin, who did not testify at his trial, removed his COVID-19 mask and turned toward the Floyd family, speaking only briefly because of what he called some additional legal matters at hand, an apparent reference to the federal civil rights trial that he still faces. But very briefly, though, I do want to give my condolences to the Floyd family. There's going to be some other information in the future that would be of great interest. And I hope things will give you some peace of mind, he said, without elaborating. So even at this point, he's playing little games. Even at this point, Derek Chauvin, who should have been given 30 years with no possibility of parole. But hey, that's me. If the roles had been reversed, the penalty would have been so severe. Penalty would have been so severe if George Floyd had been a cop killer. Would have been severe. 22 years is a long time, but Chauvin's not going to do 22 years. He's not going to do 22 years. Now, if they're going to be other, years added in another case, that's something different. The way this looks right now, 15 years is what this piece of crap is going to get. And I don't think that is enough time. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. And, I know that people have a lot of different views on this. I saw some folks online talking about he should get time served. Time served, really. For all of that, all that he did. Time served, yeah. Well, thankfully, the Minneapolis judge presiding over this case did not see it the same way. Here on the program, we deliver the biggest political and trending news stories of the day with interviews and original reporting from across the country, emanating from our studios in Baltimore and Atlanta. Show is fun, show is upbeat, but I also want to expose what's really happening in this country. Radio on Fire is Black voices giving you the American story. And new episodes of the program drop weekdays, 8 a.m., but I don't want you to miss any of our live broadcasts. In addition to our 8 a.m. program, we drop content throughout the day as news happens. So hit that notification bell so you get an alert whenever we go live. And Diamond K in the Morning is available on the WRF Radio app. Simply download WRF Radio in your app store and leave me a comment. Also, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and of course, radioonfire.com, youtube.com/DJ Diamond K. Get breaking news, adult conversations covering topics that are important to the Black culture. Visit radioonfire.com for our original radio, podcast, and TV programs. Of course, you want to support the program, Diamond K in the Morning, very easy to do that. I'm able to deliver our news and our views on Diamond K in the Morning because of our listeners, sponsors, and of course, your donations. Visit radioonfire.com/donate to support the show. I'll see you guys tomorrow.